take me down. Oh, let them take me down. Oh, let them take me down, down,
百倍的混，心中不禁疑问，是不是我不认真？我看着头大的人，心中不禁在问，是不是我不诚恳？这世界就是这样，我该学会坚强，在生存中求生存。找不到的答案，其实就是答案，只想为了爱而生。抵挡陌路的进攻，攻击冲突的放手，为你召唤所有远古的爱，埋葬软弱，燃烧生命的冲动，打开魔力的枷锁，为你穿越黑夜，陪你一起走。我看见时钟的针，心中不知体会能不能再进一分，看着正义的门，心中有些烦闷。交换一寸，这世界就是这样，我该学会遗忘，在生命中求生存。找不到的答案，其实就是答案，只想守护一个人。大地的无情，一步步逼近，在起的风云天地之间，决心抵挡陌路的进攻，攻击冲突的放手。为你召唤所有远古的爱，埋葬软弱，燃烧生命的冲动，打开魔力的枷锁，为你穿越黑夜，陪你一起走。Fine, I will be you. Fine, fine. Will be you. Fine. 我勇敢前进，手里拿着武器，启动加速器，我会打败所有敌人，只为背负，就为等你，只要你相信，我们爱的大未来，抵挡魔。攻击冲突的放手，为你召唤所有远古的爱，任性放纵你的冲动，打开魔力的枷锁，为你穿越黑夜，陪你一起走。谢谢大家。
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final day of the 2017 Demacia Championship. They're a little ahead of us, but we're going to at least introduce ourselves before we get into this one. I'm Alexander Opal Archambault. Joining me for the cast is Christy Ender Frierson. For this final day, Ender, are you feeling the hype? Are you ready?
Oh, I am beyond ready. We got a rematch between Invictus Gaming and Snake. Winner goes on for EDG in the finals. We're going to have some great League of Legends tonight, Opal.
Yeah, we're already into Champion Select. We'll get our notes out to you guys shortly, but let's get into this one. On your blue side, starting things off, it is going to be Invictus Gaming, Snake on the red end. Looking at these bans, these are kind of what we were expecting. Invictus Gaming getting rid of the Vlad, Ornn, and the Camille, all targeting that top lane.
Hey, and you know, this draft already is really funny from IG because if you think back to their last series against Snake, they banned 3 mid laners away from Guoguo at the start of that one. Nowadays, they're feeling that Flandre is actually the main threat and trying to limit his pool.
And taking a look here towards Snake, it is going to be the MF, the Malzahar, and the Zoe banned out. Zoe's been making some appearances, has been played in 10 of the games so far in the tournament. Only has a 50% win rate, but teams have been having a lot of issues dealing with her. Invictus, you do notice that, though. They put a high priority on this Jarvan, the most picked jungler here at the tournament so far, and looking to be one of the highest win rates.
And we sort of expect the response from Snake to be that Sejuani. SOFM has played that in the past, but also we're seeing the classic Azir versus Ryze be up and available. IG likely going to pick up that Ryze 4 rookie just to match this Azir in the middle lane. And what that would actually give IG is a very strong 2 versus 2 with the mid lane and the jungler around that area where they could look for early pressure up against Guoguo.
Well, here's something here for Jackie Love. The new kid on the block, the rookie everyone was hyping up. He's going to have another opportunity to shine as he gets his Draven.
Okay, I mean, he gets Crystal's Draven. Crystal's the guy that was initially playing that one at this tournament, and we'd previously only seen the Draven in the Ezreal matchup specifically, I believe, but Kalista is very well known for having that strong laning presence. You bring a Draven up against it, and I think that might swing that into IG's favor.
We'll have to see. They also got themselves that Braum to give himself a little bit of safety. Snake, though, going to lock in the Alistar for Huddy.
See, we know Braum and Alistar are going to be super high priority in this series. Not only are they some of Baolan's and Hootie's best champions down there in the bottom lane, but they just fit so well into this meta. And that's why I think both of these bottom lanes have been seeing a lot of success, because the champion pools for these two players is finally sort of showing itself as the primary style that has evolved over this Demacia Cup. We've been seeing all these melee supports really take off.
Now, coming into our second ban rotation, Snake, they have an opportunity to try and, I guess, target Rookie's champion pool, but we're talking about Rookie here. He can play pretty much anything.
Yeah, but still, I'm very surprised that we did not see Invictus Gaming pick up the Ryze earlier on. I mean, clearly he's got something else planned here against Snake, but picks like the Malzahar that he's gone towards in the past against the Azir has already been taken away right here. So he's going to have to dip a little bit deeper into that pool because Snake has sent quite a few his way.
Now, Snake even respecting that Cassiopeia pick that we saw the other day, so won't have that to actually go into the Azir. It worked really well in Rookie's favor. Meanwhile, Invictus Gaming going to ban out some junglers while they still can. It's going to be the Kha'Zix and Lee Sin taken away.
That's really interesting because Sejuani is still up and available, but we've seen now a few times SOFM not actually opt in towards that champion. It does have one of the lower win rates out of the jungle in this tournament. I still think it is a very powerful pick, but when you match it up against the Jarvan, you assume it has a little higher priority.
Going to see SFM, he has played that Zac, so this wouldn't be too much of a surprise, as it is going to get locked in here.
I mean, SOFM did the same exact thing, I believe, in Game 2 when these teams faced off just a few days ago, where Sejuani is open all the way down to the second rotation, and he just doesn't care too much for that pick. I think the Zac is going to have pretty good value here against the Draven and Orianna as well. 2 immobile backline carries that he can try to kidnap mid-team fight and pull in for his backline to dish the damage out on.
So it's going to be that Orianna locked in for Rookie in the mid lane. And the Shy going to get his Gnar up in top. Now if you're looking at Snake, what do you got left on the table here? That Shen is still around. Is good safety for Crystal on the Kalista if it does go through.
We could even see a Jace in the top lane. I know a lot of these top laners prefer that counter matchup up there into the Gnar, and Flandre has been known to go for these aggressive top laners. We've seen him on the Vladimir, the Ryze, Camille, all these picks, and the Jace really just falls into that same sort of category.
Now from Flandre here, though, this is going to be the first time we do see his Jace. He hasn't played this yet.
That is true, and I think Jace has been banned a lot in the past. Maybe not so much this tournament, and hasn't been a go-to pick for anyone by far here. But it does have a very nice matchup up against the Gnar. The one thing I'm, on the fence about here for Snake is that they got a strong matchup here in the top lane, but you look at this team fighting power that Invictus Gaming got, and that is just going to be so much to deal with, assuming that these lanes stay relatively even for the first 20 minutes.
And you mentioned a strong matchup for the Shy up here in top. He actually did have some trouble, though, dealing with the Jace yesterday from Zoom.
Yeah, that's true. The Jace does have the advantage in that matchup. That's what I was sort of going for right there. But if you try to remember back to when these teams faced against each other last time, it wasn't necessarily the stronger lanes that ended up winning out after the game was all said and done. It came down to these team fights. The teams were not able to get too large of advantages in the actual laning phase itself. So you almost have to favor a team composition style from IG here that has opted into very much a team fight centric idea with the Orianna and the Jarvan and the Gnar all to set up for big AoE damage.
We'll see if they can get that Cataclysm, the ball delivery system, activated in their favor. Or can Snake at least try and slow things down for the team fights, maybe get a good Baron? We'll have to see as we load on in for Game 1 between Invictus Gaming and Snake Esports, both teams fighting for a slot in the Grand Final.
And IG fighting for a little bit of sweet revenge here against Snake. Remember that Snake beat them the last time round 2-1 and then went on to EDG, got absolutely crushed by EDG. So now IG want to flip the cards on Snake so they can prove themselves against the top dogs here at the Demacia Cup so far.
Well, looks like it wouldn't be a Game 1 without a little bit of pause, at least, so we won't be getting in there right away. This is an opportunity, though, for Invictus to try and bounce back after being shot down into the loser bracket. They are one of those teams. They were thought to be one of the favorites coming on in, but they have given up a couple games. They have lost the series to Snake Esports, even giving up one game to Rogue Warriors.
The interesting thing about that series against Snake, though, is that they brought in Duke to sub into the top lane after game 1, the one they started off with a loss, and Duke didn't really feel like he had a major impact in those 2 games that he ended up playing, even in the win that IG was able to pull out, and now they're once again going to be starting with the Shy up there in the top lane, so you assume that that's going to be a stronger top lane for them as far as recent history and past performances is taken into account.
Because in a lot of the scenarios here in the series, Snake was able to hold themselves just a small little bit of a gold advantage from the first 10 to 15 minutes. And then usually there would be one big fight, usually around the Baron, that would just open up the game.
Yeah, it was either one big fight or someone mispositioning just a little bit and getting picked off. But as the teams take to the Rift, we have to hone in on the mid lane matchups. Rookie versus Guogo, 2 of the strongest players in this game. And really, the matchups with the junglers, I think that IG is going to be set up for a lot of success here because they have the Jarvan, and Rookie loves to play aggressive here in the middle lane. So expect them to push up and try to invade into this weak Zax early game jungle.
Interesting enough, we're actually not going to have ourselves a spellbook rune in the mid lane. It's going to be both Summon Ahri, it looks like. So both looking for just that lane pressure. And you can see the fan vote there. Snake Esports there. The faith does not seem to be there, it seems, as IG are sitting nicely at 70%.
Yeah, a little bit surprising when you consider that Snake were the ones that won the best of 3 the last time around. And from the fan votes we have seen here over the course of the tournament, it feels like they always sort of shift once one team has already proven themselves. They get that first win or beaten another team in a series prior. So a little bit surprising to me that the teams are still all aboard the IG hype train.
Now, seeing these runes pop up, this has kind of been an interesting one. We usually see the Klepto Draven come up. I think Jackie has been playing it a lot too, and this time he's going for the Summon Ahri.
Yeah, I mean, clearly wants a little bit stronger of a laning presence here with that extra damage, but the Kleptomancy does have pretty high value for him too, because he can just spam that W and loot on all those auto attacks. Ning though, oh baby, wait, some of them actually started on the wolves.
No, and this is actually, I'm pretty sure SOFM did try this route before. If Invictus have researched this is a beautiful play from their coach.
Yeah, the thing is that if I remember correctly, when SOFM did this path, he started on the Wolves and then farmed the blue buff and the Krug, and the Gromp rather, at the same time. So him just going to the top side of the jungle is a little bit of a mix-up here, but Ning read it like a book.
And SOFM, I don't know if he knows for sure this is happening. If he comes down to this bot side of the jungle, he's going to be wasting so much time early.
Yeah, SOFM, though, is probably just going to try to clear away that entire top side of the jungle. Ning now could look for a recall or just run all the way over to that western quadrant of the jungle, because he could be up 2 entire camps over SOFM, which could be pretty deadly for this Zac.
And the jungle mid duo we've seen throughout the entire tournament, it's been a main factor in these teams trying to push advantages. And if this Zac, he's going to check, he says, oh no, what happened? I got to make a play fast.
Yeah, he knew something was up when the blast cone wasn't there. He's like, hey, did you pop that on your way over to the lane? No, that wasn't the case. So now he's trying to make that mad dash over the blue buff, and Ning's definitely going to want to go over there to meet him.
Yeah, he's already finished his Raptors. He's running along, so instead it looks like going to get the scuttle before he even checks toward it, and Ning's just going to keep on farming here.
Here's the thing, though. Ning does not have priority with his solo laners. Both Guoguo and Flandre are shoving in their respective lanes, so they're going to be able to get over here and potentially help SOFM get this blue buff return.
Well, Rucky has come along on the Orianna. All 3 members actually of Snake have made their way down. They are going to at least secure that, so he does get himself back his buff in the end, so he's not going to be too far behind.
It's still a victory there for Ning. Not only did SOFM waste a lot of time walking down to his own blue buff side of the jungle, but Ning was also able to steal away the Gromp while he was in Snake's side of the map. So as far as camps, gold, and experience are concerned, Ning will walk away with the advantage.
Look at this, Jackie, and them pushing in toward the lane, liking to be aggressive. We are seeing, of course, the standard Relic Shield starts coming out from Snake's bot lane. That's been kind of the go-to with the Kalista. Just get her more safety later on to the game, and this is putting a lot of pressure on Crystal to have to be safe and carry out these later game fights.
Crystal with the refillable potion as well, so he is definitely not looking to trade evenly in here in the laning phase, just looking to scale up a little bit more, probably on that first or second recall. That's when he can get some sustain under his belt, start maybe going for a little bit more aggressive trading right here. But this has been sort of the stock standard of IG versus Snake series. They don't go all too aggressive. Maybe the junglers will do some crazy things, but it's much more about scaling into that mid to late game before these teams really try to pull the trigger.
Well, it's like we mentioned earlier, Snake, they usually get themselves just tiny little gold leads at that 15-minute mark, at least in-game, in the 3-game series that we saw between the two. It's just under 1,000, so honestly, they just usually get a little bit of a CS advantage when it comes to it, and like we mentioned, they don't focus on trying to dominate the lanes. These are teams that are looking to scale up and then go for the team fights later on.
Yeah, SOFM gonna walk into the river, realize there's not a scuttle crab there for him to take, and has to leave eventually. But I really expect Ning to continue to play around this bottom side of the map, not only because he already had that advantage, and he has the timer on that Gromp camp too if he wanted to make a play.
Well, Huddy went in, but he got stunned up, ends up losing about half his health, and Snake, not too sure exactly where Ning is. There's a lot of pings coming on down for SOFM, and Jack, you gotta be a bit careful, can't go that close to the tower.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit disappointed that we don't see SOFM on more of an aggressive jungler to try and trade here with Ning here in the early game, but Ning doesn't have any camps. He's just here for the counter onto SOFM.
And they spotted him out with the early vision. There's going to be a teleport coming on down, but look at this. Balon going super low. It doesn't matter. Ning picks up first blood in the loser's final.
Great intuition there from Ning. He's just holding in that bush, knowing that SOFM was on that side of the map. The teleport too from the Shy coming in at just the right moment, and that's going to give IG and Ning the first blood to try and press this attack onto SOFM.
And this is what I wanted to see from Invictus Gaming, trying to play aggressive early and try and shift an advantage. And all the games they played last series, they were always down. SOFM wants to try and make that different, is going to land the knockback onto Balon. Still has that shield though, and Invictus are able to get away.
IG loved doing this too, usually a little bit later in the game, Flandre.
Not going to pull the flash just yet.
Yeah, but usually a little bit later in the game was when IG will just group up 5 members and try pushing down turrets or forcing some team fights here. The Shy's gonna stay in the bottom lane. This is really interesting because now JackeyLove and Balon have the option if they want to just to go immediately up there in the top lane, which I'm not sure would be the best decision because I think they still want to keep JackeyLove versus Crystal down here in the bottom lane.
And we haven't even mentioned, you got an Infernal Drake toward that bot side of the map. You want to try and get an advantage, and I do expect Ning to try and keep around here to see if SOM maybe wants to try and turn this around, because luckily for Snake, JackeyLove wasn't the one to get the kill. He didn't get that big surge of gold a Draven would love to have. He did at least finish off the BF sword, so Crystal and them are going to be taking a heap of damage until they scale up a little bit later and finish off that Bork.
Yeah, JackeyLove didn't die though, so he's still scaling up on that Draven passive, waiting for that massive cash in. And IG are so comfortable playing this style of game. They leave Shy on an island to fend for himself. He's building purely defensively on the Gnar here with the fleet footwork as well, just to sustain through the laning phase against the Jace, because IG have so much faith in JackeyLove out of this bottom lane that they'll just put all of their resources into him down here, especially to try and get him that first kill.
Well, he's got something wicked on his KDA as far as this Draven goes. It was, I know the last game around where he played it into Crystal, it was something like 10-1-7. It was something ridiculous as his kill spread.
The thing, though, is that JackeyLove ended up losing that game. It was a very pivotal moment in the game where Rookie was playing the Rise, ended up getting caught out as we see another engage in the bottom lane.
That ultimate came on through and the stun lands, but Jackie just isn't in range. They are going to force the flash out of Crystal, so he's going to have to look to back.
That's the difference of a BF sword on a Draven to Berserker Greaves on a Kalista right there. Crystal just cannot trade in damage. Now Ning's over here in the top side of the map, and he sort of suspects that Guoguo's over there picking up the blue buff from SOM, so he can go inside this top side jungle and put down some vision to keep SOM in the light.
They will know about this, though. There was that ward beside the right. Actually, Rookie and Ning maybe playing super aggressive. Are they going to go on in with the Cataclysm? Shockwave's going to land. Flandre has no escape, and Rookie will pick up the second kill for Invictus.
Flandre was playing that slowly too. He had a control ward in the bush to try and spot it out, but now it's base race potential here. JackeyLove doesn't have the ultimate, so it's difficult to clear away this wave.
They're just going to go for the dive on top of him. The let bounce is just going to keep him there, and SOM will pick up the kill. Crystal tanking the tower. Balon just trying to escape with his life, trying to land some stuns onto everybody. Tower is going to fall. They're slowly going to take it down and finally pick up that kill, and that's going to be, I believe, the first turret, though, went on over to Invictus.
Yeah, Snake were definitely not on the same page right there. Hootie was trying to attack Balon while Crystal was just hitting the tower. Ended up working pretty all right for them in the end. Gold is going to be dead even because they picked up those 2 kills. And really, JackeyLove, what we've sort of come to expect from him is that he's a very mechanical player, but at times he goes just that one little step too far and was overconfident in his ability to outplay under the tower.
Now putting him down, that additional gold goes on to Crystal and kind of evens that one out for a little bit. Still needs Huddy for the engage, though, and that ignite to try and burn him away. So might see some pressure. Now the question becomes, do Crystal and Huddy now rotate to a different lane, or do they want to try and stay toward this bot lane and maybe look to secure this Infernal in a couple minutes?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You want to stay down here because of the Infernal and because of all the deep vision they were able to place. It's actually a pretty easy startup onto the Dragon had SOM actually been on the bottom side of the map right now, because they knew Rookie was going over to pick up that blue buff. Still, they're probably going to have lane priority down here just because IG are going to have to be playing very far back because they don't have that turret to run under and stay alive.
Crystal and them going to push it out. You do have that Zac roaming down, so it looks like they're going to position toward this Dragon. This would be pretty much on time with the other series, as I think every Drake that Snake got in their favor in that series was around the 12-minute mark.
SFM is on a ward here, though, and the rest of IG is in the area. Teleport up for the Shy as well. I'm just not sure they're going to end up contesting this.
Would be a little bit late, too. Crystal's already got lots of stacks on top of it. The Draven ultimate. Oh, you serious? How do you steal an objective from a Smite and a Kalista?
Oh man, I mean, it was JackeyLove's ultimate right there that got the Dragon low enough, and Balon just hit it with the Winner's Bite. I don't even think it was the Smite that came down from SFM. I don't even think Crystal used the Rend.
I think they were scared. I think they just wanted to see the burst come down, or there had to be something. It went from 600 to nothing instantly, so in the end, Invictus, they throw a line into the pit and get themselves a catches. That's going to be the Infernal Drake going in their favor.
Balon, the hero that IG needed right there. And hey, at the very end of things, they don't need to contest the Drake. That was theirs all from the start.
See, it's easy. Objectives in this tournament, they don't truly belong to you, even if you start with a Callista and a jungler right on top of it. You can see the shockwave was popped there by Rookie, at least just trying to force Gao back toward it. He doesn't really have the teleport, and he's gonna end up going, so maybe Rookie gonna try and make a play toward this bot lane, but so much vision coming out from Snake.
IG can never make a play in the bottom lane. Honestly, the vision bot side for Snake is completely redundant at this point. The amount of wards, they've got 4 wards in the river. Do you really need that much? Do you really need 6 wards inside the enemy jungle? I appreciate the effort, but at some point, enough is enough.
Hey, vision equals safety, and as long as you can play safe, not get caught out, it pays off for them, I guess.
Hey, I mean, it's working, although now they've sent 4 members up towards this top side of the map, and the Shy is just sort of guessing that this is going to be happening. Good game sense out of him to back away, too, because if he walked up just 1 or 2 more steps, he is a sitting duck.
At least Snake are responding well to losing that Drake. They have roamed up toward this top lane and secured the tower, so they're going to try and keep that gold ahead. They will at least trade that bot lane turret. I think Jackie's about to take that down with that wave, so it won't be a huge shift or anything, but at least keeping this game even, and this is pretty much what we expected from these two teams.
Yeah, but Snake can go ahead and force their way into the jungle up here. It's 5 versus 4. Jackie Love has no means of responding and getting over there towards the rest of his team. So Snake will be able to put down some good vision and potentially turn back for a Rift Herald in the coming minutes.
See, look into it. A lot of pings, just so much vision from both sides. And
Or
Snake,
right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like they're trying to accelerate this one as far as objectives are taken, as they're gonna go ahead and try and secure this one for themselves. You do have the rest of Invictus starting to collide up toward this top side. Jackie is roaming up. He has that ultimate in case he needs to try and contribute to the fight. So just like that, Snake are gonna let Invictus walk up, and they might just give over. We'll have to see. The slingshot is available for the Zac. Is going to try and look for maybe a pick. Does cancel it.
Teleport too.
Teleport coming on through. Rift Herald goes down to about 100, and the rest of the team goes on in. It gets secured in the end. Shockwave is only going to find 1 member, as Ning is going to get taken down, and Snake look like they're winning this fight, but Jackie is on the side. He's able to do so much damage. No one is focusing the ADC, and just like that, they're able to at least finally escape with themselves. Snake looking to get more for their money. That's going to be Crystal picking one up. That's going to be 4 members down of Invictus. Maybe Rookie too. He's got no mana. That's going to be an ace coming out for Snake Esports.
Man, what have we been saying? It doesn't matter how well the laning phase goes for either of these two teams. All it takes is 1 team fight, and Snake just mopped up 5 members of IG. That's going to be more turrets, and all of a sudden the map completely opens up for them to continue to look for these aggressive plays.
They gotta be happy now. That opens up the gold lead to about 3,000. This is the largest goal difference they've had in a series against Invictus, so a great start here by Snake. Ning maybe trying to cancel out a back. He won't be able to do it in time, and now Invictus, they gotta pick up the pieces and see how they fight their way back.
You know, the decision from IG there to start up the Rift Herald once Snake walked away seemed a little bit questionable at the time, right? Because Jackie Love had been pushing out that bottom wave. He tried to rotate on over and get there towards the rest of his team. And at the time that fight started, he did manage to get on over there. It was just Flandre sniping out with so many empowered shock blasts, as well as SOFM having the survivability. That was the big deal, that IG bursted down SOFM and Hootie, but they have the ultimate in Hootie's case, the passive in SOFM's case, to stay alive and shrug off all that DPS.
See, SOFM maybe looking for a dive in mid. Rookie's going to play very far back, so Invictus at least know that they need to try and farm themselves back up. Look for that combo with the Cataclysm and the Shockwave. Snake, though, going to position themselves down toward maybe the bottom half of the map. Baron is going to be up for 4 minutes, so they might be looking at this next dragon.
You gotta like these first items coming through from Snake as well. Double lethality in the top lane for Flandre, Guoguo, and Crystal have their attack speed items as well. So when it comes to these mid-game team fights now, though, you sort of have to wrap your mind around. Snake have to be feeling very confident moving on in towards it. And they can always just post up around one of these objectives while Flandre pushes in a side lane as well, because he has a pretty substantial advantage over the Shy at the moment.
And Snake has a pretty disgusting dive. He got an Alistar, he got a Zac with that, so if any member's trying to defend that tower alone, you see IG just grouping up together very early here in the match. Don't want anyone getting caught out, but this does allow Flandre in the mid lane just keep on pushing, and someone's got to answer it.
And here's the thing, Snake do have a lot of fantastic engage tools, but what do they have when it comes to trying to step back from a team fight and disengage? Really, if it's Guoguo, it's all up to that Emperor's Divide, so he's sitting in the back lines making sure that Crystal and Flandre, if they're back there with him, stay safe, and I don't think IG are going to try to force this, because Rookie, in Rookie style, is going top lane to clear away that wave.
Gonna take it. Doesn't have a teleport though, so if the fight does break out, can't really respond. That's kind of the one thing I haven't been liking with Rookie, because he has gone into these side lanes and left his team almost to dry. He likes to take that more solo carry oriented style where he's just going to do everything for his team, it seems. You can even tell that he's got something close to, I think it's 75% kill participation across all the games so far in the tournament. Like, he is a main component of this team.
Yeah, whereas on the other side of things, Guoguo, even though he also has a very similar mindset where he'll go into side lanes all the time as one of the lowest KPs out of the game for his team, which is actually a very interesting stat, because when you look at it, the play styles come, you know, post 20 minutes of these players seem fairly similar. You will see them go mop up the farm across the map very frequently. It's just Rookie that sort of makes plays follow around him. He's the one with the Cassiopeia diving between two towers, whereas Guoguo probably going to wait for the rest of his team before he goes for something offensive.
Well, look, you do have that Rift Herald popped into the mid lane. SFM maybe trying to catch out Ning is going to go right on over there. There's going to be a let's bounce. Shy is the one caught out. He gets turned back down into his Mininar, and Crystal is going to pick up the kill. Not too sure why Shy was being caught out there.
The jungle from IG just is not safe, and now Snake are sending multiple members down here in towards the bottom lane. IG do not have enough time to react to this tower.
And that's going to be the 4th tower of the game for Snake, so still keeping this gold lead 5,000 or above. Jackie is going to get knocked back. He's got a lot of safety, though, from his teammates. Flandre will come on over to at least finish off that ward kill, and now the rest of the team looking to rotate. It just feels like Invictus are playing one step behind.
Yeah, Snake making this one look easy.
Just a little too aggressive from SFM. Had to burn his flash. He was going for it. I like the idea. Going to the plays.
Hey, he got the tower for his team, though. You could argue they probably get that one either way. Interesting, the itemization from Jackie Love, too. Probably the reason why SFM didn't realize how much damage that Draven was going to do. Jackie Love went for a second item lethality purchase right there with the serrated Dirk, and right now SFM only has flat HP. He went for the support item to the face of the mountain, which is doesn't give him any armor whatsoever.
He did this before, and it's just more or less keep up the heals onto Crystal so they can fight it out, or even give a shield on over to that Azir when it comes into the later part of the game. Because a lot of the fight depends on trying to get Jackie, and we saw it at least around the Rift Herald fight that he was able to position himself. He just wasn't able to do enough damage this early.
Honestly, SFM is just trying to get a share of the gold, because after 20 minutes, he never really gets to farm his camps. Guoguo or Crystal or Flandre, all these players, when you have 3 carry players on your team, they just demand resources away from you. So even though it looks like an odd purchase, and it very well might be, he's going to be getting the shield from that quest line. He's also going to be able to share the love around there when it comes to those minion kills.
So now with Baron available, with a large gold lead, Snake can just look to try and control the vision around the pit and then kind of force IG to have to come over and check. This is kind of how the game's now pan out. It's right around this 20 to 25 minute mark where another fight will break out and just a big swing of gold will go to one of the teams.
Thing is, though, that IG are very far behind for this point in the game, but they have such a good wombo combo that if they can execute it and catch out 2 at the very least of the 3 carries, but they gotta look out.
Yeah, Jackie can't be the one getting caught out as they're gonna get the knock up on through. Flandre is able to land the shock blast. Huddy knocks up and Jackie is caught out. He has nowhere he can run, and the Draven is taken down. Snake with the advantage.
SFM is just able to engage from so far away. Jackie Love had no idea it was coming, and now Snake can move over towards this Baron. They can't really bait it out because that Scuttle Crab was taken by IG, but they can very well assert their dominance over the area.
And I know you have a saying yourself, you never like to fight on the enemy's Scuttle Crab. It just gives them so much mobility during a fight.
Yeah, but they're gonna start it off. They have the Callista and they're confident.
Ning's caught out. He's seen backing right now by Snake. They're just gonna go ahead and take it.
Yeah, but Ning knows that this has been started up, and Guogo is very low. This is dangerous from Snake.
They're gonna get the knock up right on top of the Azir. The Cataclysm comes on down. That's gonna at least force out the Flash, and Gao is gonna get taken down by Jackie from the base. Crystal, though, cleaning up as he's able to take down Ning, and the Let's Bounce is gonna bring Shy back into the team. That's gonna be another kill onto Flandre.
Even though Snake was low moving in towards that Baron, IG came into that fight just so disorganized, coming in from different angles for that flank, and all of a sudden the fight is split. Snake were able to collapse and now have even more pressure around this area. They're teleporting in for the Baron.
They just want to keep on going and keep forcing IG to have to come up here and fight them. No one is anywhere close, and Ning is still dead. He's only just respawning. IG, it doesn't look like they'll be able to answer this.
I don't think Babylon's quite close enough to chuck in a Winter's Bite and try to steal it out of the way. This one belongs to Snake.
Babylon saying, I'm the new jungler, I'm the new secure. Jackie, though, wants to try and clean up and try and take down some of these buffs. Flash comes out, they land the Winter's Bite onto Crystal. He's gonna get stunned up, and that's the Callista down.
Yeah, but what can IG actually do with that kill? The mid tower is fairly low. There's a dragon coming up in 10 seconds, so can possibly wipe up a couple of objectives here, but losing the Baron is going to be a major blow to them coming up soon. This is the Baron fight. Again, it looks good from the start where they catch out Guoguo, but where is Rookie? He's caught over to the side where this Jace Flandre was able to flank on over. There was never that comboing of abilities because the Shy is turning Mega at the very end of the fight. His ultimate doesn't end up meaning anything, and Snake just take house.
And this has been a big thing we've seen with the Nars throughout the tournament. It's just the ability to manage your rage bar coming into these fights. Oftentimes, we'll see them at the very end of the Mega Gnar evolution that they can't really do anything, and then they turn back into this mini form. We have seen a couple good teleport plays, but really the Nars so far in the tournament haven't impressed us.
Everything, though, just came around so fast because Snake picked up that, snipe out kill on towards Jackie Love, where SFM was able to find him coming off of a control ward with that super long range elastic slingshot, and then Snake move immediately in towards the Baron, so you can't really fault the Shy for that. It was really just how IG walked into that Baron pit that left them out to dry.
Now, Snake, they do have themselves a 7,000 gold lead. Members can't get caught out, though. That's how these teams sneak back on into these games. They want to try and maybe open up an inhibitor now that you got this Baron, but seems like they're just taking this slow. Don't want to overcommit just yet.
Itemization from Snake is all a go as well. Hootie went for the Righteous Glory as a first item there on the All-Star. That's not something you see every day. It's just because he knows his team is a little bit lacking in the engaged department. So if his team ever calls for him to start up a team fight, he can just press that button and go onto the flashless carries of IG.
Just run it down a lane or chase them through a jungle. You see this Snake looking to pressure up toward this top lane. Shockwave is going to land, but the Let's Bounce is going to bring back the team, and Rookie's taken on down by Flandre. Ning will at least exchange a kill, but Crystal will take him down before anything else happens. Milan looking to try and run away with his life. Going to get taken on down by the Azir, and the top lane turret going to be taken by Snake Esports.
IG just didn't predict that Snake was going to bring everyone there towards the top lane, or at the very least didn't react quickly enough. Now it's all up to Jackie Love and the Shy to try and clear away these minions, but I don't think they have what it takes to save this inhibitor.
They'll just go and dive him if he's not too careful. You can see he's running away. Jackie has respawned, at least is able to maybe try and chunk out a little bit of damage, but that inhibitor is just getting destroyed, and Snake Esports open up the base at 26 minutes.
You know, I was questioning S of M once again for not picking up the Sejuani, but he's showing why the Zac pick looks so good. He gets that elastic slingshot into the back, and Rookie, he gets bumped into it. That's absurd play from Flandre. Not only does he dish out all the damage, all the burst onto Rookie, he is also the reason why the ulti looked so damn good from S of M.
It's those sneaky Jace hammer knockbacks. We saw them a couple times yesterday, breaking some game physics and now breaking up the fights of Invictus. So that is not how they want to go. Now, a 10,000 goal lead for Snake. They have this ability to gain themselves a lead. They just need to now look to close the game. And I'll be honest, I remember yesterday, we did go to 65 minutes in one of the games where a team did have an advantage. So there is still the opportunity for Invictus to fight on back through this one. But it's starting to be a timer here on this Azir and Kalista where they're going to be able to not be contestable in the fights.
I don't know, Opal. Snake are looking like they're closing this one out and closing it out quick. I think that EDG's been the most consistent team to have those sub 30-minute victories, but how about a way to start off a set from Snake taking it so hard to IG right here? Just looked very impressive from them in just the first 27 minutes.
And you mentioned average game times. These teams are only separated by a couple seconds overall in the tournament as far as time played over the course of all their games. So they do play similar styles, but Snake with an advantage. They need to look to try and close this out. Huddy's going to lead in, has the Demolish available. There is still a decent amount of wave clear from this Orianna. It looks like Snake are going to try and hold up and wait it out for another Baron.
Snake are just playing the wave game right now. They got super minions crashing in top lane. Flandre was setting up the mid lane as well, so they're getting some pretty sizable damage down on towards that turret as well. And as soon as this minion wave dies, there's going to be another one coming up there in the bottom lane. So while they probably won't be able to break the base on this push, they can start to weather down these turrets so that when they do get the Baron, popping the base open is easy.
Well, Huddy might just go on in. He's still not available. They do at least get the knockback onto Ning. Now, Let's Bounce doesn't find anybody, and S of M is actually going to get taken on down into his passive. Flandre is actually, how is he still alive? Ning is going to get taken down. Crystal picks up the kill on Rookie, and Snake are looking to finish this one off. Jackie gets taken out by Flandre. How long is going to be the next one? It's going to be the ace coming on through for Snake.
Snake played that so well. Flandre dodged the shockwave from Rookie, and now they're gonna pick up the profits with the base.
And just like that, in 28.5 minutes, Snake Esports are looking to close out Game 1 against Invictus Gaming and show that the last series wasn't a fluke as they go up 1-0.
What a blow to the mentality of Invictus Gaming as well, because they were coming into this game feeling pretty confident. You have to bet. Sure, they lost the last set, but the fan boat was behind them. They had the Shy up there in the top lane, and the pieces just didn't quite come together from them. It was that one mistake around the Rift Herald where they got aced at 5 minutes, unable to return any kills whatsoever, that just broke the game right there. It didn't feel like there was the will to come in back into the game after that.
And instead of a game that we waited, for 10 to 15 minutes for a fight, it just happened earlier, and Snake were able to get that advantage. And Invictus, a lot of the times in their wins, they are the ones that are ahead early. This time around, though, Snake are able to flip the script and take Game 1 demandingly. This is pretty similar to how we saw the first series, though.
You gotta ask the question now, does Duke come into the top lane for the Shy? Because last series, they lost Game 1, IG tried to switch things up and they brought in Duke, and with the performance that the Shy had, you can't really blame him too much because most of the kills that Flandre got were off rotations and off the big team fights and just the general snowballing effect that Snake was able to pull off right there. But IG might just want to mix things up to try and start off on a better foot in Game 2.
Well, we're going to go and get into Game 2 shortly after a quick break as we'll see whether or not Snake can close out the series. Stick around.
back to the start. We lost everything. We lost everything, but you'll always stay close to my heart. We lost everything. We lost everything, but you'll always stay close to my heart. Spinning me around. When I pushed, you pulled me closer, so I wouldn't fall down. And now I just count the waves of your warm embrace. When you made it a little bit lighter, when I was tumbling into the dark. We lost everything. We lost everything, but you'll always stay close to my heart. We lost everything, but you'll always stay close to my heart. You'll always stay close to my heart. You'll always stay close to my heart.
And welcome back, everybody, as we get set for Game 2 between Snake Esports and Invictus Gaming. Snake Esports were able to take Game 1 in convincing fashion, and look at this, we got Duke coming in for Invictus.
All right, that was my question. It'll be interesting to see right here, because even though when IG brought in Duke in Game 2 the last time these teams faced off, he didn't really have a standout performance. Played the Nard, then played the Gangplank, so a little bit more carries up there in the top lane to try and combat Flandre, but will definitely require the assistance of Ning to get him to a point where he can try to carry the team that he didn't really get the last time he came in.
It's not something you would expect to say about a former world champion off SKT now here in China. Just not making an impact, and we were excited. He brought out some of the carries, and we were going to see whether or not he was going to be able to do anything with it. But like you mentioned, it was just kind of a lackluster performance, to say the least.
You know, it's been a long time since Duke was on that World Championship roster and hasn't had the best showings of recent memory here. But 2018, it's a new year. It's time to rewrite, you know, a new Duke in the top lane, at least a new Duke that we've seen here in the LPL. And coming in here when it's a do or die moment for IG is probably the best time you could possibly hope for.
So now we got to see whether or not this kind of changes up Invictus's strategy, because like you mentioned, we've only seen Duke on the GP or the Gnar, and those are both a carry slash kind of off-tank carry style of champions. Will they force him onto a tank this time around? That's something he was a little bit more known for back when he was on SKT.
Right, and I think that IG can sort of stick to a similar draft that we saw in that game number 1. I don't think the draft was the issue. It was really more of the decision-making when it came around that Rift Hill that just sort of blew the game wide open, because if they just been able to, you know, scale up a little bit longer, not fall too horribly far behind, that team fight focused style of composition definitely could have rivaled that of Snake's.
Well, we're here into Champion Select for Game 2. Invictus will be on your blue side to start things off, and gonna respect that Azir as it gets banned out.
This is good from IG. I expected to see the Azir getting banned coming in to this series today. We didn't get a whole lot of time to break down the drafts before Champ Select in that last game, but that does leave the Ryze open, the champion that was way too quiet in game 1. We didn't see that through the draft at all. Because Rookie clearly didn't prioritize that too highly. On the other side of things, though, I feel like Guao Guao will once that Azir is taken off.
Well, Camille banned out from Flandre, and here we go. Duke is going to be on a tank that Orin remains 100% pick or ban here in the tournament as it gets locked in.
Now, the responses we've seen into the Ornn so far have been the Gangplank and the Alawi, both to some pretty solid success, so Snake are probably going to look to lock one of those in unless they have something else hidden up their sleeves here in this first rotation, because if they do not, then IG just immediately ban away those two champions.
I feel like, actually, if I recall, Flandre has played the Vladimir twice into this matchup, and he has won both times, so we'll have to see if that's going to be their answer. Right now, though, they focus hard onto that Ryze pickup and getting the Jarvan.
You're right. Flandre does really enjoy those top lane mages. Heck, he's even played the Ryze up in the top lane, although after a somewhat disappointing performance, I doubt we'd see him go towards that again. I'm a little disappointed to see Rookie go for the Orianna once more right here. I really would like him on something that can be a little bit flashier in those team fights, because he wasn't quite able to find one of those big shockwaves last time around.
Well, the Orianna gets locked in, and for Jackie, it's gonna be the Ezreal. He has been having some great showings. This is, well, actually, I say great showings, but this is actually the one champion he's lost 2 games on.
That's true, but Jackie has had some pretty incredible team fighting skills on that Ezreal. Sometimes maybe gone a little bit too far forward than he probably should, but he has been the wild card here for IG and can definitely pull off a carry performance on the champion like an Ezreal.
And let's see, there it is. It's going to be the Vladimir picked into that Ornn, so that's what Snake believes is the answer in this matchup.
Well, Snake have done this before where they've gone Ryze plus the Vladimir, and that was actually when they put Ryze up there into the top lane. So that still could be the idea here from Snake. They're going to sort of play their cards close to their chest right here. Don't have to give away where exactly that's going to be going. But because Snake definitely have locked in a top laner here, IG's second ban rotation has been freed up so they don't have to take away those Bilgewater champions that sometimes give Ornn a tough time.
Yeah, I might look to try and ban out some of these ADCs away from crystals. See, for Snake, they're going to ban out that Maokai and Invictus to get rid of the Jhin.
I almost expect IG to ban the Draven here too, because something that Crystal has opted into quite a few times over the course of this tournament is the Draven, specifically when he's against the Ezreal, and just because it falls so much into comfort here for Snake. But the Jhin ban, I think, is another very good one from IG, because they already know that Snake is somewhat lacking in engage. It's all about the Jarvan here to start off the team fight. So a champion like Jhin, and even the Sivir, though we haven't seen too much of it, would fill the role of engage here that Snake are somewhat lacking in at the moment.
I find this ban of the Cho'Gath a little bit interesting from Snake. They've already shown that Ornn up in the top lane, so maybe seeing if we're going to have another Ornn support Maybe Snake is almost expecting that. You don't know for sure. There's still a lot of these top bands that were coming on through on the side of Snake. So maybe they've read ahead and not looking at something we've thought of. Meanwhile, though, Invictus, we were expecting a Draven ban. It's not going to be that. It's going to be instead the Sivir.
Theory crafting time, and mind me, I don't necessarily agree with this, but because Snake did pick a champion that could potentially beat that Ornn up there in the top lane, they would almost expect IG to put the Ornn support. I don't think IG would ever do that. I'm just trying to get my head inside the mind of Snake right here.
Well, seeing for Snake, they do lock in that Braum. IG, they get the Lee Sin for Ning, and that was a little disgusting yesterday, actually. Ning was camping Zoom up in the top lane and just got the Shy super far ahead. This time he's going to be with Duke, so let's see that pressure. They are also going to pick up that Alistar, and Alistar, one of those high picks, but there it is. The Draven gets locked in for Crystal.
I think Ning and Flawless have been really the two junglers that have been opting in towards that Lee Sin quite a few times during this tournament. And it's really funny seeing how far down the priority list Sejuani has fallen. This is the second game now where it hasn't been touched on whatsoever. And we were sort of seeing it over the course of this tournament where the junglers were transitioning away from the tank initiators into the jungle outside of perhaps the Jarvan and are looking more towards the aggressive picks they can try and duel and scrap here in the early game.
Well, I think teams are trying to get something else instead of the Sejuani when trying to go into a Jarvan, because those are your two most picked junglers at the moment throughout this entire tournament. Jarvan actually sits as the highest win rate of junglers. Meanwhile, Sejuani actually has the lowest win rate overall as far as champions go.
Definitely true, and the Lee Sin also in this game going to be searching for those big kicks here. Draven and the Rise, both immobile backline targets that if he's able to kick them into the middle of his team can definitely swing a team fight. And that was almost sort of the X factor that IG's lineup was missing in the last game. Sure, they had a lot of AoE, layering of CC and damage, but they had to be able to find so many different members and execute their composition perfectly. Now, if Ning can come up with just one big play, they can roll over a team fight.
And Snake, with this comp, they have a lot of damage at your disposal. You got a Vlad up in top, the Rise in mid, and a Draven ADC. There's a lot that can go through these fights.
It's just so funny to me how similar this series has sort of, mocked the one they played just a couple of days ago, where once again in game 2, Duke comes in. We're seeing double mages in the solo lanes from Snake. Of course, if you remember, Snake ended up losing this game, so now it's up to Flandre, who's starting with the spellbook, I assume, because he's got Smite in the top lane. Probably to shove in.
Go for the early shove. We'll have to see as we load on in. It's going to be game 2 between Snake Esports and Invictus Gaming. I think you just thought of something. What are you thinking?
Yeah, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So when I was initially theory crafting Unsealed Spellbook, I assumed that most players were actually going to start with the Smite because they could swap that out so easily here. I expect Snake almost to try to invade onto the top side of the map and secure sort of the vertical jungling that allows Flandre to play aggressive here in the top side of the map. But even if they do not end up going for that, Flandre can actually tank a few hits of the red buff and then Smite, both to do damage and to restore some health to make sure that SFM is as healthy as he can possibly be in his first clear.
We've seen it a couple times with supports sometimes taking Spellbook. They'll take that Smite to help leash for their jungler, so it might be just a similar scenario. You're already going to be running the rune anyway up in top lane with that Vladimir. You might as well just help SFM try and get ahead and maybe be able to match this aggression from Ning.
Yeah, also, starting the Smite means that you're going to have access to the jungle item as well, eventually, if you do choose to go for that purchase. So Flandre, later on down the road, maybe 6 items. Vladimir's built a lot of health. Cinderhulk seems like a crazy option. Bear with me. It's crazy, but I've seen crazier things here in the Demacia Championship so far.
We've seen Braum steal away dragons with the Winter's Bite. We've seen Barons be secured by teams that had no reason to get them. And we gotta take a look at these runes. There we go. This is what we're more used to seeing on the Draven. It's gonna be that Klepto.
And Flandre, I'm still just so excited to see how this works up there in the top lane, because more often than not, when you see a mage in the top lane with the spellbook, they'll start with the Ignite. We've seen it on Vladimir, seen it on Kennen, but realistically, the Vladimir doesn't have that much damage in the early game to ever threaten a kill, so starting with a Smite, I really don't think it's going to cost him too much.
Let's see, this level 2 is already hit for the bot lane of Jackie and Balan. Gonna at least force Snake to back off, but Crystal steps forward. It's gonna get knocked up, and that gets some free damage from Jackie. The exhaust is gonna be also burned. Crystal down to about 200 health. They do at least get the stun. Here comes SFM on the Jarvan, gets the knock up with the flash, and that's gonna be first blood coming on over for Snake in game 2.
So well played there from SFM. Got level 3, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That was about as early as you can find a gank down there in the bottom lane. And Jackie Love felt so secure going for that trade because he had the level 2 advantage, thinking he could outtrade Crystal. He just definitely could not. Man, you see, he goes in, he gets immediately exhausted when the level 2 comes around. Crystal doesn't quite pick up the axe here, which you think means that Jackie Love gets out just fine, but SFM, perfect timing. The length of that flag and drag combo with the flash was just way more than Jackie Love could have ever imagined.
And honestly, I'm shocked Jackie actually stepped up in this scenario because they saw the bot lane match them as they came into the lane. So at that point, you got to assume the Jarvan's on the bot side of the river.
Hey, it's the Jackie Love effect. He is confident in his own play. He died underneath the bot lane tower in the last game. It cost him. He died there, but now Guoguo potentially in trouble.
Here it has Ning in the mid lane. Is going to land that Q. Ain't going to follow on through, though. Just not fast enough for the Lee Sin to try and make a play. There's the Rise can just back off easily into the lane. But for Snake, already got themselves the early kill. This is looking like game 1. Let's see if they can continue on a roll.
And Ning was just walking in the mid lane to try and secure some priority. I think Rookie is going to try out and push the next wave, go back to base and pick up the lost chapter if he has enough gold for it. I think Guoguo actually switched over the teleport. He definitely did. You can see it in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, just so he could get that early tier and try to bully around Rookie in the mid.
That's what we've been seeing, the switch for the early teleport back into lane after picking up that tier. SFM going to pick up the scuttle and head on back. And it seems I really got to get this stat. I wish I had this. This was the one thing I forgot to prepare for, is how many Infernal Drakes have we had in this tournament to start off games, another one in this series.
I mean, I feel like Tencent's over there sort of scrambling with the code, making us action around the bottom lane. That's what the fans want. That's what the teams want. And we already got a kill down there in the bottom lane, so can't say that the strategy isn't working, because it definitely is for the early action.
Hadi's maybe he's channeling the Braum Dragon Slayer skin. Literally, he's gonna try and get on down there, see some more action, see the teams maybe prioritize that. Jackie and them already getting pushed on through. They were lucky at least that Crystal did not secure the kill early, so you don't have a Draven with a BF sword on the first back at 4 minutes. Only the 2 long swords, but that still is gonna be doing a lot more damage than Jackie can do with that tier.
Now, something we saw SFM do a lot in the past on the Jarvan, really on any champion, is he'll invade into the enemy side of the jungle, find the timing on the Raptor camp, and just steal it away immediately on spawn. That's why he's sort of putting down the deep vision right here, both to get eyes on Ning and to prepare for potential future invades on that camp.
Well, Ning just going to clear out the vision, and they're kind of just doing a ring around the rosy of the red buff. Both going to be trading back and actually going to lay down that control ward, so denying Ning the vision in his own jungle. You do see the Rise coming down to also support, so that does force Ning to have to back off.
Yeah, SFM had 2 control wards in the inventory. The one that he put down was immediately cleared away by Ning. Now he's, again, on that Raptor camp. This is exactly what SFM loves to do, but Ning is looking for a gank of the bot.
Crystal just maybe a little too far forward, does get knocked up. Here comes Ning. He's going to go on and gets the kill. Jackie will secure it. Huddy, now the next target. He's still pretty tanky, though, on that Braum, but Invictus are able to strike back with their own kill and bot.
I've liked what I've been seeing out of Ning so far in this series. I gave him a little bit of criticism coming in where I thought SFM was the more consistently reliable jungler for his team, but this is the second time in a row where Ning has intelligently predicted where SFM was going to be on the map and gotten a good gank in the bottom lane to get his team back in the game.
SFM going to clear out his Gromp. We do see the Alistar making his way up, trying to maybe get some vision down. They can keep the safety there. This does allow Jackie to get back into this matchup and farm safely, and maybe even see Ning come down again with the Lee Sin. Lee Sins have made early plays around the map. Ning in particular, he loves just trying to get his lane snowballing, but it is one of those other champions that sits pretty far low on the win rate, even with the early advantages.
Yeah, that's probably because you've seen some of the players picking it flawless mainly ended up getting knocked out. I believe that was yesterday, so unfortunate for him. But again, I really like seeing Ning on a more aggressive style jungler. The Jarvan has worked well for him in the past. The Sejuani, he really has not performed all that too well with, and now he's on a flashier champion. He can try to look for these more aggressive plays inside SFM's jungle, and because Rookie has built up a minor lead in the mid lane, but he's consistently pushing in Guau Guau, IG can look to make some movements into SFM jungle or just simply rotate into these side lanes to get more action going here in the early game.
They do at least have some ward coverage on the side of Snake through that river in case this Alistar tries to go up into the mid lane to try and maybe find a gank. You'd like to try and burn that stopwatch a little bit earlier into the game so he has to take, he doesn't have a free escape tool until he gets the Zhonya's together. Because we saw that combo the other day, I think it was during the WE series, where you would just send the mid lane over into a side lane, just consistently push and then realm warp out. When there's any kind of threat and be completely fine. So I'd like to see Ning maybe try and pressure mid and try and get that stopwatch broken.
Here's the thing though, SFM just stole away the red buff. He knows the timings in the jungle, and now because there's no vision on him, he can look to the mid lane on towards Rookie potentially with Guau Guau waiting for that route.
Still weighing a lot of vision down on the side of Snake. The knockup gonna land on through onto Crystal, and he gets stunned up. Here comes the Arcane Barrage, but no one actually broke the shield in time, and Huddy is able to intercept it. And Jackie Love, he looked for the all-in, but they weren't able to find it. Still, though, they have the advantage as they're looking pretty healthy.
I'm surprised SFM just left the jungle right there. I've been talking about how he always knew the timings of the enemy Raptor camp, and he just left a little bit too early for that one to spawn, not necessarily keeping up that same pressure, but I think that's also because Rookie did have the advantage here in the mid lane. He's been controlling Guau Guau very well in this sort of area, and because IG has put down a lot of good vision surrounding him on this bottom side of the middle lane, he can afford to walk up offensively because he knows Ning is right there to back him up.
Ning is going to walk right over a ward, so they do know he's down toward this jungle, even the ward actually going across the wall, so SFM does see this. They're going to try and just chase him up. They do have a lot of wave pressure, so it's actually really hard for Snake's bot lane to come up and answer. Rookie's also roaming on over. Going to try and maybe threaten something here toward the bot side of the map.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because there's not any camps they're trying to invade on. It's not as if Invictus Gaming are attempting to start up the Infernal Drake right here. It is purely just sort of peacocking and trying to force the enemy away, trying to scare them and intimidate them while grouping up for that scuttle.
See some pings coming on over. Ning's just going to go ahead and chase that Jarvan down. Did have the scuttle to get in range and actually is going to go for it. Does at least force the flag drag out, so SFM going to back off, and Ning still applying pressure. Hasn't been able to find anything in the lanes.
Man, I just wish we could get to see the gold counts right now, because Flandre too went for the Spell Thieves line up there in the top lane. Would love to see if he's been able to accrue an advantage over towards Duke, but this is what all that posturing around the dragon was doing there for IG. It was setting up for Ning to steal that one away.
I've been interested with this because almost every Vladimir has gone the Spell Thieves route. It does allow him to use that active almost off cooldown every time you want to try and scout out the enemy jungler. If you don't know where Ning is around the map, if one goes down toward the side of the river, you kind of have to play a little bit back. It's a free indicator if you have it up.
Yeah, it's funny because you do it for a couple different reasons. One of them being Frostfang gives you cooldown reduction, so he's going to be able to itemize into that just a little bit. Duke's going aggressive though.
Does launch the Call of the Forge God. Isn't going to be able to get in range though of the auto for the Brittle. Maybe if Flandre does stick around, but they popped the Hemoplague, so he is going to be safe here. Just looking to maybe try and catch something. With Duke on a tank, we haven't seen this yet, so when it comes into these later fights, or even maybe a teleport down to try and dive that bot lane, we might see some action. The Ornn has been... It's been interesting. It's been banned or picked in every single game, but we've seen times where the Ornn is able to be highly effective or not effective at all. Ning does see this back. Flandre figures something is up. He's going to go ahead.
Yeah, he just showed out of that bush for just a second right there. Flandre should be all right here underneath the tower. He knows Duke is fairly low on mana, but at the same time, Flandre spent his ultimate up, so gonna have to still worry if Rookie was able to rotate there out of the middle lane. About that offensive capability, the Ornn we know can soak up tower damage for so long.
They also have the Abyssal Mass, which is a pretty common pickup for that Ornn, because it just allows that Orianna in the mid lane to at least add on to the damage, and also you get a little bit more tanky against this Vladimir matchup.
Yeah, Vladimir, the Tar Mage over here in China.
Yep.
Right there. But yeah, IG were just really trying to get him out of there, out of the top lane. Ning, though, I really love what he is doing. He's, left a few of his jungle camps up and is falling behind in CS to S of M, but that's totally fine in his mind because he was able to sneak away that Infernal Drake and is now on the Rift Tail purely because Snake just haven't really been warding these neutral objectives.
Ning himself being the sneaky snake of the game so far, taking off those objectives. And it's kind of weird with Lee Sin. You don't really consider Lee Sin a huge team fighting champion, and that's kind of what IG likes to do. They take a slow early game and then look for that team fight around 20 minutes, and it's kind of looking similar now as both teams are sitting dead even at the gold. It's only separated by a couple hundred, if that, and kills are dead even, and no one's gone for a first tower yet. It's just that one Infernal Drake separating them.
Yeah, I'd reckon especially, though, because the introduction of the stopwatch rune here, that Ning is allowed to be sort of a teamfight champion here in the early game. He can go really deep for those flashy insect plays because he has that get out of jail free card, the 2.5 seconds of invulnerability that he can wait to reset the safeguard and jump on out of the fight. Granted, that is a one-time use, but it definitely allows him to go for much more aggressive plays than he was able to do before the preseason.
Ning just going to go ahead and clear out the red. We might be seeing a little bit of aggression come on over. The standard does spot that out, but they are going to back off as Rookie has made his way on over. Shockwave going to land onto S of M, going to force the flash. Ning just needs to land the combo. Actually flashes the Cataclysm. What? Okay. Playing flashy. Rookie picks up the kill.
Not sure what that was out of Ning right there, but that is a flashy play if ever I've seen one. It works. He gets the kill in the end, and now they can go steal his blue buff too.
Literally flashy, using the flash to just dodge out a Cataclysm that I don't know what the follow-up was there. Maybe he just wants to play flawlessly. Maybe he's channeling the name of Flawless to maybe try and find this. Anyway, Jackie Love looking to poke over that wall. With that, Invictus can go down and get some nice ward coverage toward this bot side of the map and see if Snake wants to try and make a play toward that bot side early.
Yeah, and we're still probably a few minutes away from that next dragon spawning up. Wasn't quite able to see it in the corner of the screen to see what that one was, but if Ning is still able to put down this deep vision in that eastern quadrant of the jungle, I have no doubt in my mind that we could potentially be seeing him steal that one away right in front of Snake's nose.
Well, Duke gonna go toe-to-toe. Call the Forge God coming on through. Flandre got the health back from the Hemoplague, and Duke is now running, has to use the flash. Flandre is gonna have his flash and the enhanced Q, now diving to underneath the tower. Does not at least secure the kill, but here comes the Rise, gonna come on over and try and finish off this one. Duke, he's so tanky though with this Abyssal Mass, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a kill going on over to that Rise.
Yeah, Unstoppable, by the way, gets out for just a second there before Gogo has to flash forward to end up getting that kill. That ends up being a good move there from Snake, but it leaves the middle lane open for Ning to try and put down some damage with the Herald.
At least try and force that into the tower himself and get some chip damage on it. It is down to about half, so a teleport also being used here. It looked like SFM was going to clear that out fine, so Flandre just ensuring that the Rift Herald is taken down, I guess. As they do save that mid tower. Still no first break claimed by either team as we just crest over 16 minutes.
SFM gonna probably look to get aggressive here around the middle lane, but Balon shows up, and this is going to allow IG to arrest control again once more over this area and try to break that mid tower. It's so incredibly low, and IG would love to have that down going into this dragon in 30 seconds.
It would give them the mid part of the map to be opened up and also allow them to kind of roam up toward this top side, get some vision down for themselves, because honestly that top half of the map is just completely dark for them. They have no idea what could be going on in that jungle. Rookie gonna finish off the tower and claim the gold for himself. 650 extra in his pocket for the Orianna. Duke going aggressive up in top. Flandre can just trade this around, and he gets the slowdown from the Frost Claims. It is gonna be the call of the Forge God to maybe try, but the pool can always juke this. I feel like Duke is kind of seeing the same play happen again. Huddy, the rest of the team, Crystal wants to join on in. That's gonna be the Draven cashing on in extra 650 gold.
Snake don't care if this guy's won a world championship. They're still gonna camp him, still find him when he overextends just a little bit too much. I was surprised to see at the same time that IG recalled instead of immediately moving on towards that Ocean Drake, but they're still gonna be ahead in the tower game, still ahead in the objective game, and that's really the wave that they're gonna ride in here to that 20-minute mark.
Gonna get themselves a little bit of a gold lead as they just get over that 30,000 mark. Ning also going to secure himself the Dragon. So the second one going on over to Invictus. They do trade 1-for-1 across the map. Invictus, don't know if they're exactly happy with this one. If they keep up the pressure, though, they might be looking for some more.
IG just love grouping up and hitting away at towers, daring Snake to come and fight them. And Flandre can't really get over here to try and kill away that minion. IG are going to win the turret push. And
Duke can look to just clear this one out unless he gets dived. Is going to just run out of there as the rest of the members. But Invictus, they take a second-tier tower, and Flandre, he's got to be careful. He's getting poked on down. This could be the inhibitor tower going.
I mean, Snake have to recall immediately. They're so behind on this push. I'm not sure what they were trying to do. They tried to trade evenly, but they're getting massively outplayed on the macro scale.
And like that, it's going to be the inhibitor at 18 minutes for Invictus, and now they just own this bot side of the map. This is perfect timing because the Baron's going to be coming up in a minute and a half.
Yeah, and IG, we've already seen just how much control they've had around these neutral objectives. They're going to recall and blitz straight their way over that top side of the map because the objectives for them left on the bucket list are that top lane outer turret that Snake has. Then put down some deep vision inside of Snake's jungle. Bully them around because there's always going to have to be one member of Snake clearing away super minions in the bottom lane, and then they can use that deep vision that they put down to look for a pick or potential teleport from Duke for a flank.
And because of the amount of damage threats on Snake, you can already see Jackie in his build going quite defensively with his items. Didn't go Trinity Force this time around, went the Iceborne Gauntlet, and already picked up a Hex Drinker.
Something we've been seeing a lot out of the Ezreal so far in this tournament, just because he knows he's going to be getting dove on. The Jarvan, the Vladimir, the Ryze, all these members of Snake are going to be hunting for him and trying to pick him off, but he's been doing a pretty good job. You saw in that skirmish around the bottom lane, Flandre was trying to walk up and just drop the Hemo Plague to clear away the minion wave, but every single one, oh my, Crystal!
Rookie! Can just delete this Draven off the Rift, and just like that, Rookie should be able to actually take this tower with the help of Ning, and Crystal, I don't think he was expecting that.
I mean, obviously not. He's still got the flash, still got the heal up. He walks up by himself. He shouldn't even be in that position because the rest of IG was in the, the area for the ability to collapse on towards him and pick up that kill anyways. Rookie just takes care of it himself, though.
And Orianna, she's one of those big team fight champions, but if you go toe-to-toe or Snake, what's happening? You had an advantage early, and they've just completely collapsed on communication.
I mean, IG now have 6 towers to the 2 that Snake have. I'm amazed that it's only a 1,500 gold lead at the moment for IG. I'm not really sure where all that's coming from. Mainly the CS advantage for Flandre in the top lane. Draven's passive probably also contributing to that quite well, but if IG is ever able to win a team fight somewhat convincingly or pick up this Baron, Snake's base is just going to be decimated.
And it is all riding on Crystal, I'm going to have to say, because you also have the Kleptomancy to factor in from the lane of trading back and forth, also cashing in. He's kind of the big gold sponge for his team. If he gets taken out during a fight, Invictus have a massive advantage. And if he's going to make mistakes like this, again, Rookie, here comes the Alistar, and there's a reason this Alistar is a highly contested pick. Easy ball delivery system. Rookie picks himself up his 3rd kill.
That was just disgusting, and Rookie went for the second item Luden's Echo as well. He just wants that one-shot potential. IG just have no fear.
Ooh, gets the kick on back, but the Cataclysm will be able to get S of M out of danger. Did have to burn his flash, but like that, Invictus Gaming, if they keep catching out this Draven, these are going to be easy takes in the team fights.
Crystal not going to be doing too well. No gold really on that passive stacking up now because he just died 2 times in a row. That's got to be a major blow, and IG just can continue to hit away at these towers. All the inners going to be gone pretty soon.
You see the Draven ultimate coming through the mid lane just to help clear out the minions. And I also wanted to talk about this Draven build, because for Crystal, I think this is actually a first. He usually likes to go the Infinity Edge immediately after the Bloodthirster, instead going 2 Zeal items right away.
Yeah, actually, really interesting. Differing from Jackie Love's build in the last game, too, where he built up a lot of lethality here. Now Crystal, with the attack speed, it's not necessarily the most optimal build on the Draven, because you can have so many axes flying at once. Just building a lot of raw AD is where you're going to be able to get the majority of your damage. But if he's just looking for, I suppose, the extra range so he can stay a little bit further away from Rookie and Ning, that's why he would be moving into that rapid fire cannon next.
And seeing some other itemization, you do have Ning. He actually went for the Black Cleaver, so also going to be doing a decent amount of damage. Really relying on Duke to be the big tank during these fights, and also providing that huge CC with the Call of the Forge God.
Now, what I want to know is what happened in between game 1 and 2, because IG game 1 is not the same IG we're seeing here in game 2. And they brought in Duke, but I'm not necessarily convinced that he's the one making all these decisions, just out-rotate Snake across the map, do this and that, and walk away with 6 towers before 20 minutes here. Whatever it is, if they keep this up, they could be rivaling EDG later tonight.
I think the real question is what happened to Snake during the break, because it just feels like they're just standing around and letting it happen. They do look, as the inhibitor finally does respawn. Invictus, they took it early enough they weren't able to find anything, but Flandre getting half health by just the Orianna Dissidents. It's a little bit disgusting.
Yeah, mid tower going down too. On the minimap, we saw the Call of the Forge God go down for Duke. Not seeing that on the actual screen at the moment, but the rest of IG are just shoving in mid lane.
Can see no one's coming back just yet. You do have the Rise starting to make his way back on over. Tower's going to go down to about half health. Jackie does have that sheet. Actually, he's going to jump on in. Okay, Jackie, I know you got defensive items, but that doesn't mean you have to go super aggressive. Cataclysm is actually going to contain him, but guess what? There just isn't any damage left because Flandre already used his Hemoplague.
Jackie's got steady hands, man. He's inside the Cataclysm. Could have been bursted at any second, but doesn't use the flash to heal. Now they can walk up and try to take this tower.
With the teleport, it's also going to keep that minion alive, and the Arcane Barrage is just going to help push the wave. They crack open their second inhibitor tower. SFM looking to come around from the side with the flag drag, but like that, Invictus Gaming, they can back off. Is Snake going to try and find a fight, perhaps? They are looking to position. They keep on walking up aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, Snake, they just can't really find an opening here. Jackie Love is just so strong, too. So many defensive tools that even if SFM jumps onto him, it's so hard to take him down.
Jackie in the middle of 3 members is going to go around the wall with the Arcane Shift, and now Flandre might be the one caught out. He goes down so low. Call the Forge God. Going to be used on the side members of Snake, and the Rise is going to go ahead and get out of there. But Crystal gets caught out by the Shockwave, and the knockups come on through. Duke picks up the kill. Flandre gets taken on down with the help of Rookie and Ning. Now pushing on onto this Rise. You see the flash coming out. Rookie picks up a double kill, and IG take down 4 members of Snake.
IG played that fight so well. They have minions here too, probably not enough to break into this base, but they're certainly gonna try.
It's 30 seconds on the death timers minimum. Ning finds the insect on back. That's gonna be the ace coming on through for Invictus. Gonna take the first Nexus tower, make it the second one. No one's gonna be up to try and prevent this. It's gonna be up to Crystal to make a miracle, but he might not even get the chance. And like this, Invictus Gaming go ahead and take us into a game 3.
In modern League of Legends, you do not see teams win like that. They cracked open 2 inhibitor towers, won the game at 25 minutes, and IG never even took the Baron. They just rode this wave of success when they out-rotated Snake, got that bot lane inhibitor, and just never let their foot off the gas.
And still a little bit speechless here exactly what happened during that game. I feel like Snake just kind of gave that one to them. It didn't feel like they put up a fight.
They just didn't correctly predict how much faster IG was going to be able to take down those turrets in the bottom lane than they were up top side. It feels very reminiscent of the first game of the night where IG felt super confident in their play to go for the 5v5 in the Rift Herald, realized that definitely was not a victory for them. It was just the opposite side of the coin this time around, and also a little bit more of that tower pushing race instead of the 5v5.
Well, honestly, like you mentioned, it was just better map rotations and just better calls because No one came down to answer the push. Snake said, okay, we'll try and base race you, but they were already a turret behind when they decided to go for it, and they were never able to match it.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed too. We never got a chance to see the replay of that last team fight too, because there was a moment where Duke knocked up 3 members there with the Ornn on just the E ability too. It wasn't even the R, so really well played from him. Jackie Love and Rookie too, just finding all their abilities. It just was not even close in comparison. IG of Game 2 looked on another level than Snake.
We'll have to see. We're going to go ahead, get ready for Game 3 between Snake Esports and Invictus Gaming. For now, we're going to go ahead, take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Talk to me honestly. I'm here.